So here we have Wine-Eyed Jill, and she is right out the top of Neil's frames. Incredible. I'm doing a little bit of Dahlia deadheading. This is Ambition. It's absolutely beautiful. Now, dahlias tend to flower in threes. So this is actually the second flower. The third flower is yet to come on this bud. And if I bring you down, you can see where the first flower has already gone over and we've deadheaded it. Second flower is fine to take out here to leave this bud to continue to open and bloom. However, once that's finished flowering, rather than cut that here as well, what I always do is I chase it down to the next junction. It'll also give you an incredibly long flower stem if that's what you need for your arrangements, because you're borrowing the stem. This stem here is the final flower of the trio, and that has now gone over. So you can see the two previous flowers there. There are no shoots, so we'll chase the stem back down to here, get some snips, making sure that you don't nick out those new shoots, and then just trim it right the way down to there. And that will help keep your bushes nice and tidy. You'll get plenty of flowers and they won't be too tall and ungainly as we continue throughout the season. I've got another one here that I've just cut. The flower's starting to go over, so as I'm having a tidy up, and if I pull it up, you can see the two previous stems that are now gone, and I've cut it all the way down to the next set of side buds. And if I bring you in for a closer look, you can see where I've cut the stem, and these side shoots are raring to go. Don't worry at all that the stem there is a bit hollow. It won't do the plant any harm whatsoever. The stem here is slightly different. So I've got a beautiful flower in bloom now on massively long stems. Look at those. And a second one here which has gone over. But if we chase it down, let's have a look inside. You can see that's a flower from before that we've deadheaded. And then we'll chase it to see where they're both coming from. Down here. Now, we don't have two sets of side shoots here, but we do have a growth shoot. So what's happened is the flower has come up with the three shoots, but one of them's a growth shoot. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to trim both stems back down to this junction and leave it. And if I take a big step back, you can see all the side shoots waking up from lower down, which has given us a gloriously bushy plant, which looks fantastic in the garden. And then keeping the height under control, because frankly that is tall enough for anybody, I think. At this time of the year, it is pretty easy to spot the deadheads. We've been waiting so patiently for the flowers, and look here, especially if it's been raining, the petals haven't dropped, they've just stuck to the plant. So I will trim these off in a moment. However, later on in the season, when the flowers are coming faster than ever, it can be tricky once the petals have all fallen to decide which is a deadhead and actually which is a new bud. When deadheading your dahlias, it can be difficult sometimes to tell the difference between an emerging bud and a spent flower head. The emerging buds are always round. You can see this one here has just cracked open and the brand new petals are starting to emerge. The flower will continue to develop and open, but once pollinated, the flower's done its job and the petals will start to fall. On the back of the flower, can you see these are sepals? So what will happen is all the petals will drop and the sepals will then come round to encase the pollinated flower centre and make it into a cocoon to develop seed. This is a really good example. We've got 3 petals left, and if I turn it around you can see the sepals still there, and on this side they're already making their way to encase the centre of the flower. Now it can be a little bit more tricky to tell the difference once the process is complete and your flower centre is completely encased in its sepal cocoon. But if you just remember that the spent flower heads are always cone shaped, but your new emerging buds are always round.